UK. See when the show
You're going to get your speak.
Yeah. No, that's my avatar name. My real name's Ron.
Hey everybody! Welcome to this week's news and updates. I am Laurel.
And I'm Donna. I'm just checking to make sure my feet are in the right spot. There we go. Oh, I'm the other host here at News and Updates. Mark, our brilliant producer behind this weekly AltSpace VR news show, is behind the camera bot, live streaming to everyone out in the metaverse and beyond. And as usual, we have plenty of news about the AltSpace VR community, so let's get on with it. There's lots to talk about.
There is. You know, as parts of the world are starting to come out of lockdown and slowly returning to what we're calling the new normal, you know, but there are many events, conferences, and activities that are still happening online and in VR. And, you know, Donna, it scares me, but also I'm kind of happy in a weird sort of twisted way that many experts believe that this
twisted, that describes you, yes.
Yeah, twisted,
very
this
well.
definitely
Okay,
describes me. Yeah, there. Thank you. I appreciate that. This new normal will repeat itself, and so they and we are preparing for a repeat lockdown. We do not want this to happen, but you know, I believe that it's better to be prepared than to have it surprise you. And trust me, folks, let's don't do any more surprises anymore, okay?
Done with surprises.
I am so done with surprises, yes. So we have, though, this has given us a chance. We had a little breather here. And stay tuned for some news and updates on future plans of what, you know, how we're going to prepare going forward. So you just stay tuned to news and updates. We're going to have some awesome news coming up.
Now, it's Saturday. During the lockdown, what happens? Drum roll. It's Reggie Watts, of course. So he's continuing his series of 8 Saturday night performances here in AltSpace VR, keeping us jamming and dancing and celebrating life. Woo! There's still so much to celebrate, you guys. We've only got a few of these left, so make sure you RSVP and show up for a great time with Reggie. And it's amazing that even if you've been to 1 show or 2 shows or 3 shows, he makes every one of them unique, and he includes people, and he's always in the audience, and they are just great times. So if you haven't been to one, make sure tonight's the night.
Absolutely. And I am stunned how many graduations are happening right here in AltSpace VR. It's really, you may not know it because they're private events, but they're happening everywhere. So if you encounter any students arriving here for their graduation from high school and university, it's fascinating, and college, make sure to welcome them and tell them that you not only want to, you know, hope they make it to their special event and congratulate them, but give them a reason to return. AltSpace is an amazing community, and we love inviting new people to share it with us.
Absolutely. You guys, what a milestone to happen in AltSpace.
Mm-hmm.
So as we look back across the week for news in and around AltSpace VR, we'd like to thank the amazing development and support staff for their server maintenance and emergency work that they did last night to ensure improved performance and stability going forward. Anybody get caught up in that last night? There was a little while I was working in my world, and I thought I was losing my mind, and it turns out I was not. So thank you for that. And they worked hard to get us back online. Isn't it weird that as soon as AltSpace doesn't work for a few minutes, we're like, there's this panic sets in.
Yeah. All right, you newcomers, come on in, grab a seat, virtual button, virtual chair. We'd love to have you join us as we talk about the news from in and around AltSpace. Yeah, it was, I was building a world, rebuilding a world, and I had errors constantly, and I was so afraid that when I got back in my world, none of the work I did was saved or whatnot. I checked it's fine, but boy, that scared me.
Me too. I'm not a builder, and I was like, if I lose this, I'm gonna cry.
It was terrible. But they fixed it. There's still a few little glitches, but they're fixing it. So, it's a weekend, and here they are staying up doing this. So the audio issues that came with the last update of AltSpace VR all have been worked on. They should be resolved with the latest hot fix that came out. So we had 2 updates this past week. So it mostly impacted people when they're using the megaphone, when they're presenting, and some issues with some large, crowded, noisy spaces. So that was really unfortunate, but they jumped on it right away. They issued a hot fix, and we're back doing this. So thanks to the AltSpace VR team for staying on top of it and being so responsive.
So there's, the last few updates for AltSpace VR have included extensive improvements and features for the MRE, the mixed reality extension used by world builders to add interactivity, motion, and other physics to their worlds. As scripting is not allowed in Unity or in world building, the MRE and SDK allows world builders to add features that would commonly be added by scripts. You've seen examples of many of these, maybe without knowing it, in the rockets and snowballs, the hearts and pillows, and the new Cinco de Mayo interactables. As the MRE continues development, expect more and more world builders to push the limits in world building. That's the thing, you give them an inch, and all of a sudden they figure out all these creative ways to use this for, right? So some of us are just looking for the elevator button to work.
Yay!
But who knows where they're going to take us.
Yeah. Oh, come on. When you have a multi-story building, how many of you want an elevator? Don't you want an elevator? I want a button with an elevator. Hey, come on. I shouldn't have to work this hard in VR. So thank you, AltSpace, for all of the work that you're doing, all the developers. And don't forget, the new Jackbox game feature was added a couple weeks ago to AltSpace VR's instant events. Anybody played it? Have you been playing it? Come on, the Jackbox. Oh, it's awesome. Go try it. So if you haven't hosted a Jackbox game party, now is the time to bring friends together, or just open it up and meet new people and play some fun games. They're really great. They're not just for kids. Trust us. It's for everyone, and you're going to have a blast with it. It is very, very fun.
So as with all things news and updates from AltSpace VR, we report on these in our News and Updates Discord server. And we invite you to join if you haven't already, where you can keep up with what's going on in our community and find the YouTube streaming and the saved video links.
Yay!
Okay.
So now let's look at some world building. As mentioned, the developers are working on more improvements to the mixed reality extension, the MRE, in AltSpace VR. So if you have not been attending the SDK and the MRE meetups here, and you really you're really interested in extending your world building skills, check the events calendar to make sure you show up to learn about how all of this works and take your world building skills to the next level, because this is where it's going here.
Now, we'd love to hear about your new world projects. We have a channel called Share Your World in News, just waiting for you to show off your world so we can feature it here.
Yay! Now, if you want to know more about all this world building stuff we're talking about in AltSpace VR, Andy Fidel of Get Social hosts world building tutorial events often here in AltSpace VR and offers a new world tour event called Multiverse World Hop with a tour of worlds in AltSpace. It's usually on Mondays, but she's changing it up all over the place. And it lasts about 30 minutes. So check that out.
Now, and just like everything, make sure to go back to the calendar a lot to ensure you don't miss these events, okay, guys?
Mm-hmm.
Now, the incredible world builder Daisy Shaw, I just got to talk about her again at our 101. She also offers a world building workshop and tours on a regular basis. You really want to check these out. So not only do you get to see amazing worlds, but you also get to see them up close and personal with Daisy. And you get to ask questions. You get to meet other builders who are also looking for the same kind of experience. And so that builds up the world building community. But you guys don't dismiss what an unbelievable opportunity it is whenever you get to go on a showcase tour to be able to speak directly with world builders, because they offer information freely. So take advantage of that. And so the make sure to visit help.altvr.com, help.altvr.com for documentation and information, and do search on YouTube for the many community-made videos and tutorial articles. Also, check the AltSpace VR official Discord in the world building category of channels. Search for help there or ask questions. There are so many helpful people around. I'm eager to help you.
Absolutely. And we have also the original World Tour Showcase on Wednesdays. Started with their new series. They're changing things up, and on their new series, once a month they're offering tutorial sessions. And this past Wednesday featured using label text in the world editor. So you see, as you came into our event space here, there are links that are down along the wall. That's an example of the label text. But you can do so much more than make a sign. The World's Tours team built a custom world to invite people to learn and explore all the many ways that text can be used to expand their world building creativity. And we want to take a moment to show off their examples and inspiration. So sure, text makes signs, but did you know that for a long time we used punctuation for water? So text is visible on both sides. So a large dash or a period was often used to create water visible from both sides. We just created giant periods. It was amazing. Big round pools of water. Using a little HTML code, little archaic HTML code, we can make the text transparent to create not just water, but windows that you could walk through. So you see they're standing in water up in the picture up there on the slide screen, which is just a period that's been made transparent. Now, as a self-challenge, I created a maze, sorry, Donna, called Glass Maze, and it used mostly text with a pipe. And the character above the /key is known as the pipe. And so go check it out. It's called the Glass Maze, and the transparent text created transparent walls, which I used in coloring all the different things in the maze. So, Donna, you want to pick that up?
Absolutely. Now, Diamond made a smiling, Cheshire? Is that?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
Cheshire.
I don't know.
Cheshire.
Cats from Alice in Wonderland out of an S. Oh.
Yay.
And tilde characters.
Mm-hmm.
Karen666 blew our minds in the tutorial world by creating red arrows. The British Air Fighter Squadron by using the letters A and greater than and less than symbols, flying through the sky overhead. And she created the most amazing doily tablecloth out of plus, equals, asterisks, and other symbols that to say it's a must-see, it's a jaw-dropping thing. Every one of these things is just jaw-dropping. She said it took about 5 hours to make that particular doily, and it deserves a huge round of applause. It's a lot. That's commitment, right?
Yay,
5 hours to make a piece of thing in the world. But it really is incredible.
There she is. It is. It's amazing. You've got to check it out. It's incredible, really. So the world tour team is starting on their next event for June, focusing on one of the most frustrating and common usages with the World Editor: positioning, rotating, and scale. I can see all your minds starting to shrink and little crying happening. Positioning, rotating, and scale. Very frustrating. We're going to make it easy, and so we'll keep you updated on when that's going to be happening. Yay!
So now, however, next week, they have a great tour of worlds lined up. And coming up at the end of the month is their special World Tour event focusing on water-themed worlds. If you know of a world using water you'd like to suggest, or if you wish to build one, go to discord.me/world tours to make your suggestion, or let us know here at on our news and updates server.
Yay! So now is the time to explore new world building, and if you come up with a world, send it to us. We may feature it here. Now it's time for some events. Are you ready for some event talk there, Donna?
Absolutely. And as mentioned, Reggie Watts is back tonight, and we have even more events scheduled for during the week.
Now, later tonight, it depends on where you are, early for Europe. If you're a fan of the rocket parties here in AltSpace VR, the next SpaceX launch happens in a few hours with the Falcon 9 rocket. It has a payload of around 60 flat-packed Starlink satellites. If you haven't seen these, they're just fascinating. Go look them up and then make sure you're there for the event. Starlink is changing the world for Wi-Fi and internet connections, so this is very exciting news. Remember, these events may change it at the last minute as the launch window shifts or is canceled. So we recommend you subscribe to the Rocket Party channel to receive more updates on any changes that are happening.
Now tonight, Late Night with Buddy, who is a 15-year-old stirring things up with great interview shows, it's happening tonight. He is interviewing DJ Stopknocks from the Omega Club. There's an event you don't want to miss.
Mm-hmm. And we also have tomorrow the Nice to Meet You, but I'm anxious meetup. It continues for those who have social anxiety or just feel socially awkward. I think that's most of us. She says she'll offer tips and techniques to counter the feeling and provide a safe space for you to hang out. I love that. We love supportive events like this. So if you know somebody who needs an event like this, or one of the other many what do we call sensitive groups, support groups and things here in AltSpace, please let them know that these things are available.
Now, Key is offering Japanese conversations tomorrow in Japanese and English to help you build your language skills. Language things are becoming more prevalent here, and it's really exciting because we have people from so many different countries that we want to represent more languages than just English. So we have so please take advantage of these events. There are conversations in German, Spanish, French, Dutch, and more. Be sure to check under the all events listing, as many of these events are not featured. So, if you go to the all menu and you can go through and click on interested and make sure you get an email an hour before an event happens, so you remember to go to an event you wanted to go to.
Yay. Now, Live Loved is hosting several interesting Christian-based conversations and meetups starting tonight. And tonight's one is what to wear in a war, which caught our attention. So, Donna, would you clarify that a little more for us?
Absolutely. So in Ephesians 6, it talks about the fact that we're in a battle, and we need the shoes of peace. We need the breastplate of righteousness. We need the helmet of salvation. So we're going to talk about all the different pieces that we need when we go into battle. Now,
wow. Very cool. Thank you.
You're welcome. Educators in VR continues to host events encouraging you to create your own events. You guys, the information in these events is gold. This week, they are offering host and moderator training, speaker 101, 2D and desktop training, and how to produce a virtual conference. They've announced that this will be the last month for some of these events on the regular AltSpace schedule, as they're developing a master class for hosting events, workshops, classes, etc., hosting these events in VR starting in June. So please take advantage of them while they're free and open to the public. Now, the Educators in VR weekly workshop happens every week on Tuesday. This week features a special session discussing the lessons learned from producing the Students in VR conference that happened just over a week ago. It was held a day in AltSpace VR and a day in Engage. It was student-led, produced, presented with teacher mentors from around the world. This unique event had many challenges, especially with students confined to their homes, away from schools, teachers, away from their students and equipment and devices. And we learned some amazing lessons that we're eager to talk about on Tuesday.
Yeah, it's going to be amazing to see how did they do this. So Educators in VR also supports a variety of special project teams presenting on various specialties of XR. This week features the VR research team meeting to discuss researching immersive technologies, especially in these tough times. The V coaching and personal development team continues to bring us fascinating topics on self and personal improvement with guest speakers and topics. And don't forget, the first Tuesday of the month is their social right here in AltSpace, so you can connect and meet other educators, learners, researchers, and passionate enthusiasts using VR and AR to change the world. We love having Educators in VR here.
Now, it wouldn't be a calendar of events if Chuck wasn't doing something. I tell you that, man. True. I don't think he ever sleeps. That creative mind of his is always
no kidding.
Going. So, Health Systems Chat brings us a special event entitled VR Content Strategy. What VR content should we create and why? While usually he focuses on healthcare technologies, sometimes beer, this coming Tuesday, he wants to dive into the discussions of VR content strategies in time for a variety of real-world conferences now turned virtual on that very subject, like the Confab, the Content Strategy Conference. You really don't want to miss this on Tuesday. When you see them in the calendar, you really don't want to miss them. They're always entertaining.
Indeed. Now, I have something exciting that I stumbled on that is not in the featured calendar, but it should be. The Space Explorers Academy is presenting tonight the film in just a few hours, Secrets of the Surface, the mathematical vision of Mariam Mirzakhani, for a watch party right here in AltSpace VR. She was, I don't know if you know about her, but she was an Iranian immigrant to the United States who became a superstar in the math science world, and she won the 2014 Fields Medal, which is the highest prize for mathematics. And she was the first Iranian to ever win the award. Who cares if she was male or female? This is huge. So this is a documentary of her life for education, the path it took for her to lead the world as an ideal role model for girls looking for careers in science and math. So you do not want to miss this amazing watch party tonight. So I'm thrilled that's coming here to AltSpace.
Wow, that's really exciting. Now, many of you have reported the event we will describe with the initials FUN. This is a legitimate event and a trademarked name for a very popular technology and development meetup in Armenia, led by, here we go. Vach and Hopik.
Yes.
That brings together developers, makers, and creators to meet in AltSpace VR in this time of self-isolation. Even there. FUN is a global meetup for innovators and developers hosted in dozens of countries, including Armenia. All are welcome, unfortunate name or not. Of the things that AltSpace does right to be respectful of the diverse culture representing the community here, let's welcome them and go join their events and see what all the fuss is really about.
Yay, love that. It's an amazing experience. So just go. It's a great international group. And Mixed Reality Developer Days are coming to AltSpace VR. Now they're doing a larger conference, but this is part of their open to the public one. They're doing event. They're doing a social networking event on Thursday, May 21st, with everyone, including Microsoft employees. We'll meet with other mixed reality developers, designers, enthusiasts, and of course, fans of mixed reality.
Wow, amazing. This week is the next meetup of the Virtual World Society, hosted by the incredible Tom Furness here in AltSpace VR on Thursday. Now, for some of you, Tom Furness might have been new during the Educators in VR. So many people came when he did his keynote there, and he's become more available. And if you go to this event, you guys, I want to give you a tip. Go talk to him after the event. He's like the godfather of VR, and he wants to talk to you more than you want to talk to him, and you want to talk to him a lot. So you guys, don't be shy about going to speak with him after. He's so approachable. Now, this week, the guest is someone named Ryan Daniels, who is a high school student who's won awards for his outstanding work as founder and president of the VR AR Club. His app, Frankenstein AR 200, was published to the Apple Store. He worked with Snapchat to develop AR lenses for their new developer tools. In addition to leading students through developing and coding VR and AR apps, he is also a composer, and his pieces premiered at the Walt Disney Concert Hall, performed by the Los Angeles Philharmonic. Okay, did you catch
high
back
school
where I said he was 18? Yeah. Oh my gosh, some of us have done this an entire lifetime. So he and Tom will be talking about Ryland's work and involvement from the Virtual World Society and where VR and AR technologies are going in the future. And it'll be really interesting to hear Ryland's take on what he sees being the future for these for AR and VR. So really excited about this.
I can't wait. So there are so many things to do, so many people to meet, and never a dull moment here in AltSpace VR. So check out the events calendar. Make sure to mark an event as interested so you'll receive an email reminder an hour prior to the event so you don't miss a moment of the fun that is here in AltSpace VR. Woo! All right, well, Donna, we have a great topic today.
That's a lot of stuff, but we still have time for a discussion. So
yay.
One of the questions, maybe all of you have heard this before, maybe you've thought about it before, but community helpers get asked this question quite regularly. And it is people looking for tips for how to meet people in AltSpace. So sometimes people are brand new and they're looking. They don't necessarily have social anxiety. They're just new to the community and they're wondering how to meet people. Other people, like myself, are really timid about talking to people. So I was in AltSpace for, I should have done this before. I think it was 9 months before I had 12 friends. Now, most of you have already surpassed that in probably the first day or two, but it literally took me that long to actually have the nerve to talk to anyone. And you guys, there's people like me all around. So today we want to put it out to you guys. So some of you are veterans, some of you are new. We would really like to know if you've been here for a while, if you have tips for what you would give people when they ask you that question. And for those of you who are new, give me your thoughts about this. What are your apprehensions, or what have been your first reactions to AltSpace? There's a raise hand button. Yep. So down to your bottom right, if you want to click that raise hand button, and Laurel will call on you. Okay. Look forward to hearing from you guys.
Okay. So what are tips to help meet people here in AltSpace? Karen, you're on.
Well, you know, when I was a little bit like Donna when I first came in,
Me too.
I was like terrified of talking to anybody. And it wasn't until I had a friend from real life come in and my brother that I started to feel comfortable. So I went to meetings, and my way of socializing, I guess, was asking questions, because I love asking questions. But I really held back from speaking to people. So now I'm so comfortable here. But now what I try to do is wherever I am, I try to approach people, especially the ones who aren't talking, and engage them in a conversation, because you can just tell. I mean, so many people, they hang around, but they're afraid to say anything. And I learned that from my mom. She always, wherever she was, she always brought, in real life, she always brought people into the conversation and made them feel comfortable. And I think, honestly, as whether we're community helpers or not, those of us who have been here for a while, I think we have an obligation to do that, because I know how Donna felt. I felt the same way. And
Me too.
Donna was the first person who friended me and was one of the reasons I stuck around.
Oh, that's beautiful, Karen. I love that. Yeah, I hung out literally for about almost 2 years with barely talking to anybody, mostly asking questions. So I'm with you. I was very, very busy, so I would come in and out and in and out and in and out, and I was watching everything. So I'm with you. I am totally with you. Beautiful. Thank you. Yeah, that's just amazing. All right, Frank. Hey, Frank.
Hi there. How are you?
Hi, I'm doing all right. How are you doing?
You're always doing all right. You are amazing. I guess I'm kind of on the other end of the spectrum, that I think I can't remember exactly who it was that said it, that strangers are just friends I haven't met yet.
Yep. Love
So
that.
I'll go into a crowded room and I'll just start friending people randomly all over the place, and it's
You're a
kind
friend
of a
stalker.
yeah. So I'm kind of an innocent until proven guilty. Like, I'll friend them, and then if they turn out to be somebody I don't want to friend, then I'll just unfriend them. But most people have been great, and I just want to give kudos to the moderators, because like I've heard of other platforms where there are no moderators.
Yeah.
And I think that the moderators make all the difference here. So kudos to them, and kudos to you and Donna. You guys rock it.
Thank you. Thank you. All right. I love that. That's an interesting idea, to just go friend to everybody, and see, it's like the shotgun approach. Just scatter it everywhere and see what happens. But you never know what's going to happen. Mark, our fearless leader, are you going to film yourself? How are you going to do this, Mark? So this is multi-talented. So not only is he going to talk, he's going to film himself while talking in a separate account.
Oh, yes. Hopefully I can hear myself. Okay, but anyway, I just want to say that, with people who have social anxiety, I know how you all feel, coming into VR and not being able to, seeing all these avatars and thinking, oh, these are real people. When I joined, probably about nearly 3 years ago, I came in, I was like, what do I say to all these people? These are all real people. What do I say? So it took me probably a year and a half to actually come out and actually start talking. So I found it really, really difficult. So I know how difficult it can be for everyone here that has social anxiety and that. But you meet a lot of great, amazing people here in Altspace. They're friendly. I mean, Val, Donna, Ancient, Karen, all lovely, amazing people, and there's plenty out there. So go out there, break that shell, come out and just have a, go into a conversation, just have a listen in, and when you feel like it, have it, if it's something you can talk about, come out and talk. I mean, I've been doing this news event for nearly 2 years, and it was very difficult to do. But look at us now, 2 years on. In August, 2 years, gonna be our second anniversary. So look out for our 2-year anniversary party.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I hope to see you all there.
Well, everybody, please give a round of applause for Mark, because not only did he get over his anxiety, but he started a news talk show. Come on. I think that's amazing. I am so proud of you, my friend. Thank you. Wow. Love
Well,
it.
all thanks
I
to
love
you
it.
and Donna.
Ah,
And everyone
you,
else.
you started it.
Well, I'm stuck with you.
I don't get me started. All right, thank you, Mark. All right, Diamond, you're up. Your turn.
Hi, everybody. I am also introverted. Now, I've performed for a lot of years, but it's amazing. I still kind of hang by myself a lot of times. But what finally broke the ice for me was volunteering. I met Ryland, Donna, and Karen when the Educator in VR conference was happening, and I was dipped in wholeheartedly fully immersed in meeting people that whole conference, and it really helped me settle in. And I met Daisy when I first started looking at how to build a world, and it takes just taking a deep breath and saying hi and knowing that that it's okay, that we are a community of like-minded people. We all love VR, so it has been amazing for me at my age. So I appreciate y'all. Thank you.
Oh, Diamond, we love you. Wow, that is beautiful. Blue, you're up. Blue? Hi, Blue. You want to have something to add to the conversation? Okay, either audio problems or otherwise. So, and let's do Mike. Mike? Rose tinted. Pardon?
Oh, sorry, I didn't realize I had to hit confirm there. Yeah, so this is probably going to sound a bit of a repeat based on Donna, Mark, and Diamond's thing, but yeah, I'm pretty socially awkward as well, and I thought I'd probably offer up some advice that I learned from going to university and working in a student union. And it's pretty much a two-pronged approach. Firstly, it's find your interest. As you say, there's never a dull moment in alt space. There's so much going on from so many different topics and interests. So that's a good place to start. If you're really into, say,
Agreed.
reading, join a reading group. If you're really into education, like I was, look at Educators in VR. Shameless plug to you there. And more often than not, that will narrow down, people with similar interests. So you already then have something in common with, the world of people that you're already in. And the second is obviously go at your own speed, but don't just sit there. If you're extroverted, dive in, say hi to people. Most people I've met are friendly enough. If you're scared, then take your time, but just obviously don't sit in that home space and go, I'm fine here. You've got to kind of get up and take that deep breath, because once you dive in, you don't go back.
Oh, I love that. That is great advice, Mike. Thank you. And, this is something really important, that you have the opportunity here to, if you can't find an event that matches your need, start one. See who shows up. And, play. Daisy! We've been talking about you a lot today. Yay!
Have you? Oh,
Yeah,
I
of course.
missed
Aren't
it
your
all.
ears, your virtual ears ringing?
I missed it. I only got here 5 minutes ago.
I know. We've been bragging on you. All right. What do you have to add to the conversation, my friend?
Well, it's interesting that you've asked 5 people, and it's really interesting how everybody has said something entirely different. My own experience was similar in that I first came to the campfire, like everybody does, and I looked around and there were people in groups talking, and I went up to them, and I didn't say anything because I didn't feel I had anything to contribute. I didn't know what they were talking about, because who knows anything, I've never been a gamer, I've never been in VR before, so I didn't have a thing to say. So my advice is, and also also that somebody said, I approach people now, because I remember that day very, very well, and how awkward I felt and a little bit lonely.
And so if I ever see anybody kind of wandering around looking a bit lonely, I do that. I go up to them and ask them if they need any help and what the name is, and then maybe show them a couple of nice worlds, and that would be my advice. It's a different thing to what everybody else has said. And I think sometimes the campfire, although everybody seems to encourage people to go there, it can be a really intimidating place because there's that
Very
many
much
people there. And there's a lot of people running around and there's a lot of noise. So it's nice that the info zone and the 101 events encourage people to turn on Enable Worlds Beta so that people can look at the popular tab and just start going through a few worlds, because when you're in a world, you've only got a small group of people that might be there. It's a lot more intimate and a lot more likely that you'll see something that you like, that you've got something in common with somebody else. And it's a much easier way to get talking to somebody, and then you find that you've got things in common.
I totally agree with you, Daisy. And I think one of the things about anxiety is what to talk about. And so when you go, exactly what you said, when you go into an environment where there's all these groups of people and they're all talking, sometimes it adds to the anxiety because it's that conversation and it's hard to know what to say. So world hopping is an absolute wonderful thing to just go into a couple worlds. Make sure even if somebody doesn't ask you, if you see a portal being thrown up, they won't mind. If there's a portal, they won't mind if you join it. You don't have to add to the conversation. You can simply listen. But being in places where they're talking about things that interest you, all of a sudden now you're talking about something and it takes the focus on what should I contribute, opposed to just having things to say. So finding whether it's events that you're passionate about, and what Diamond said is about volunteering as well. So when you find things that you're really interested in, ask to volunteer at those things, attend them regularly, and you'll and sometimes it takes a long time to actually get up the nerve. Just know you're not the only one. But talking about things you're passionate about takes away a little bit of the anxiety about speaking, because now you're speaking about something, right? And that's always easier.
Oh, beautiful advice. Save for Life, you're up next. Thanks for the patience.
What I didn't mean to raise my hand. I'm sorry.
Oh, that's okay. All right. Well, it showed up. That's okay. Nope, not a problem. All right, Blue, did you get your microphone fixed?
I think so.
Blue.
Can you hear me?
Yay! Yes, we can.
I'm sorry. I'm all new to this. I just joined
That's fine.
VR
Welcome.
last week, so I'm still trying to figure out the buttons. I went out and bought a Quest, and I read about this online. All VR geared more toward the adult thing, and I'm shaking right now just because my anxiety is so high. I'm sorry, everybody, but it's just I have trouble speaking to people. But I met Daisy. I met Daisy and Mr. Yellow. And sorry, I gotta stop because my anxiety is getting to me.
That's okay. I appreciate that you shared that. That's beautiful. Thank you.
Look what you just did. You talked
around
to this group of people, and all these people are giving you love. And just know that every time you do what you just did, it will get more comfortable. But you just shared with us, and that was awesome. Thank you.
That was great. Thank you. Wow, Donna, this is amazing. Any last words on that?
There's something that you can't. Wouldn't it be nice if we could take somebody else's anxiety away from them? And there's something that we can't. But I have to say that for every one of you who is in the room who has experienced this, or everyone who has not yet experienced it, remember, there's a caterpillar and there's a butterfly. And all of us in some sense are sometimes that caterpillar. And I have to tell you, it's awkward. It takes time. But you will break out of that shell, and it will be worth it, and it will empower you. And I think the number one advice I would have is don't compare yourself to other people, but also compare yourself in a way that you know that everybody goes through it in some way. So we're all together. We're a community, and we do this together. So I know there's a doubled mess of thoughts.
I love it. I love it. That's beautiful. So thank you, Donna. And thank you for inspiring us. And thank you, everyone out there, for inspiring us completely. So that's all this week for the news and updates. Remember, the conversation does not stop here. It continues on Discord, which is our home base for our community outside of AltSpace VR. And we invite you to join the news and updates Discord to keep up with the news and activities here and around all over AltSpace and the VR industry.
And we live stream the news onto YouTube every week, and you can catch up with past episodes to learn more about how AltSpace VR works and what's going on in the community. We've also added the AltSpace VR announcements feed to our news and updates Discord server, so you won't miss a minute of the news.
And we are here to keep you updated on the news of AltSpace VR. So please tell a friend, share our Discord and YouTube channels so that others can keep up here and all over AltSpace.
And importantly, if you would like to volunteer, we've been talking about that. If you would like to volunteer to help us out, we would love it. We do this for you, but we also need your help. We need people to help in all sorts of ways, to help film and live stream. We need people to supply us with photos and news about events and activities around AltSpace VR. We need writers, editors, moderators, backup hosts. So if you would like to help us out in any way, let us know on our Discord server, or you can stick around after the show and talk to one of us.
And we will hang around after the news to answer your questions and talk to you about what we're doing and what you're doing here in AltSpace. And if you like, we'll take you to that new text world so you can see how, be inspired by the creativity of what's going on. It's up to you. So stick around. We'd love to chat with you. And thanks to all of our news and updates, volunteers, moderators, and everyone who help us make it such a success. Thank you so very much. And with these uncertain times, be safe wherever you are in the world. All right. Thanks, everybody. Let's roll this out. Yeah, we did it, Donna. Woo!